Now, all this week, we're taking a look ahead to some of the stories we're expecting here in the East Midlands in 2018. Today, we're joined by our social affairs correspondent, Jeremy Ball. There's one very big story in your diary, isn't there? There is, Sarah. October could lift the lid on a huge child sex abuse scandal, because that's when the National Independent Inquiry looks at the care system in Nottinghamshire. Now, Professor Alexis Jay is going to hold 3 weeks of public hearings into what happened here. Over several decades, she'll hear from survivors who never had their day in court. She's trying to establish the scale of what happened. She's trying to learn lessons for the future. And Professor Jay has said that thousands of children may have been betrayed by institutions in Nottinghamshire. And the inquiry is even considering moving here from London for these public hearings. So that's October, still a few months away. What's coming up more immediately? Well, some very high-profile court cases. You might remember Munir Muhammad, who's accused of preparing an Islamic State terrorist attack from his home in Derby. Next week, the jury is due to resume its deliberations in his case. A few days later, a teenage computer hacker from Colville is due to be sentenced. He's a lad called Kane Gamble, who's admitted hacking the director of the CIA. Expect to hear too a lot more about modern slavery after some high-profile prosecutions, really, under tough new laws there. Yeah, and there are some big issues, aren't they, which continue to make the news. What can you tell us about those? There are. One of those is rough sleeping, still a big concern, and that really is just the tip of the iceberg in a growing, wider homelessness problem. Policing, we're going to hear about funding, I think, this year. Some of us might be asked to pay more for the police from our council taxes. There's Brexit, of course. Those discussions are going to have a huge impact, particularly if you're an employer, particularly if you come from another part of Europe. Finally, that royal wedding, and I think that's going to prompt huge interest, particularly at St Anne's in Nottingham, where Prince Harry is still so closely involved in some of those inner city youth projects. Yeah, so hopefully we might have another royal visit, although he is quite busy, isn't he? I wouldn't be at all surprised. Jeremy, thank you.